Hello, and welcome to a studious episode of the Brain Ladle Trivia Podcast. I am your stupendous host, Davo. I am a orange belt in the tournament Kumite trivia knowledge thing.
You gotta nail that thing.
Sooner or later. I will.
You change the title every. I don't know what I'm competing in anymore.
I'll figure it out.
I thought this was Jeopardy. Is this not Jeopardy?
No, this isn't Jeopardy.
Can I buy a vowel then?
You certainly can. That'll be $200.
I would like to buy an O.
Oh yeah. With me, as you fine listeners can tell, is green belt Kels and yellow belt Andy.
Howdly doodly.
That was amazing. And as always, our sensei in this trivia tournament, Kumite, Neil.
Hey, everybody.
I'm devoting all my mental focus and energy to the upcoming contest, so introductions will just have to wait. Neil, what is today's topic?
Today, we're going to talk about France.
France?
Everybody's favorite country, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
France.
Andy's gonna kill this episode.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's a French scholar.
I've been doing a lot of research. Siri, what is France?
What is France?
Is that the first question? Because I'm locked in.
No, it's not. Oh.
Well, actually, before we continue, Neil, I think this is an interesting question, interesting little subject, because all three of us, I believe, have taken French at some point in our college careers. All of the three of the contestants. Is that right?
Oui.
You know, what's really interesting about that is I don't have a single vocabulary question on this quiz.
Man.
Oh, thank goodness.
Sacre bleu. C'est alors.
And the only one who didn't say anything in French was the one who most recently took French.
Je m'appelle Andy.
Zut alors. That's beautiful.
Huh?
Enchanté.
Oui.
You know, if I don't know off the top of my head if we have any French listeners, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to once we're done.
Oh, my pronunciation is still on point, though.
It was.
Thank you. Andy will offend them. And maybe Davo, but
most French teachers quit after me.
So, as you guys know, every week we have a theme. In this case, it's France. And I've got 6 categories with 4 questions each. Each question is worth 10 points. There's a few bonuses thrown in. And then there's a final question, which is worth up to 100 points. And if I recall correctly, in our last episode, every one of you scored more than 200 points. And my new goal is to not allow that to happen again.
Right, because that was fun. So we can't have that. I was really frustrated by the way you enjoyed that match.
All right. You guys ready to get started? Are you guys ready to start?
Oui.
There you go. That's the way to get in the spirit of things. Category 1. Everybody? 1, 2, 3. Science. Excellent. I love the enthusiasm you guys have for science. I'm not going to try to guess. I try to guess sometimes if you guys are going to have good luck with these, and sometimes the ones that I think are really easy, nobody knows, and vice versa. So I'm just going to enjoy the journey.
Oh boy.
Mm.
Oh boy.
Question 1 in science. This French scientist invented the solenoid and did a lot of work towards discovering the relationship between magnetism and electricity. To honor him, the standard unit of electrical current is named after him. What is his name?
Locked in. I
Locked
didn't
in.
know it until the end of the question.
Okay, Kels, what's your answer?
Ampere.
Andy
André Ampere.
and Davo.
Volt. Voltaire.
I like that.
Dang it.
Yeah, the Volt was named after Mr. Volta, who I believe was Italian. The electrical current, the Frenchman, is named Ampere. And I just double checked, Andy. You're right. He was Andre Marie Ampere. Because
Okay.
just so you guys know, I kind of go by Jeopardy rules, which is last name is acceptable unless it needs to be more specific. So if you give me a first name and I don't need one, and it's the wrong first name, then it's the wrong answer. So, for example, if you had said Louis Ampere, then you would have gotten it wrong. If you just said Ampere,
Yeah.
it would have been right. So, just
Okay.
for future reference. All right, question 2. Jacques Cousteau was a famous popularizer of oceanography and ocean conservation. What is the name of his research vessel? And for a bonus, what American singer-songwriter wrote a song about this ship, which reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts in 1975?
Wow.
Locked
You
in.
had to throw music in there.
I'm very curious if Andy backed into that one because of that song.
Yes.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
Okay, Davo?
The ship was called the Calypso, and I did not have a guess for the bonus.
Okay, Kels?
Also with the Calypso, and I guessed Bob Dylan.
Okay, Andy?
Calypso, and it's John Denver.
The ship's name was the Calypso, and John Denver wrote a song about it. He and Cousteau were apparently really good friends. And it's a song about the ship.
It's actually I have a soft spot for John Denver. It's actually a pretty good song. It's a pretty uplifting, fun song. Do you know, Neil? I was trying to remember. I don't think the song is called just Calypso. It's something like Ahoy Calypso or Away Calypso, or am I remembering it wrong?
That is an excellent question. It is called Calypso.
It's just called Calypso. Okay.
I don't see a subtitle. It was the B-side of I'm Sorry. And I think...
Ooh, did not know that.
Yeah. I'm Sorry was number 1, but then Calypso started getting more airplay. And so it ended up being a number 2 hit. Question 3 in science. This 17th century mathematician, inventor, and theologian has had the SI unit of pressure and a programming language named after him.
Could you repeat the question, please?
This 17th century mathematician, inventor, and theologian has had the SI unit of pressure and a programming language named after him.
I'm locked in with a total guess.
Yeah, I'm locking in.
I'm locking in with the wrong answer.
Okay, Davo, what's the wrong answer?
Monsieur C++.
Kels?
I went with Pascal.
Andy?
I'm going Tonto. That's what I've written down, but I was trying to come up with a way to pronounce it. It's not.
I don't even know who you're trying to get to, but it's not right. because the right answer is
Okay.
the SI unit of pressure is a Pascal.
Oh,
Blaise Pascal, to be
that'll come in handy in conversation.
Never know, man.
Question 4. This biologist and chemist is sometimes called the father of microbiology, in part for his work in bacteriology.
Locked in.
Could you reread the question, please?
I can. This biologist and chemist is sometimes called the father of microbiology, in part for his work in bacteriology.
I'm locked in as well.
Whoa, that just leaves me.
No pressure. Got it.
No Pascal, Andy. No Pascal.
0 Pascal, Andy.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Oh,
I'm
Andy,
punting.
come on.
Ray guys.
Andy, hang time. Come on. Don't do it.
Hang time.
Oh,
There it
it's a
goes.
beaut.
Yeah, you're going to kick yourselves.
Well, Andy just
Kels?
did. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally just did.
Kels, I feel like you got it pretty quick. I bet you know who it is.
I hope it's right. I went with Louis Pasteur.
Devo?
Louis Pasteur.
And Andy
Yeah, that
punted.
makes a lot of sense.
Yep, he discovered how to get rid of bacteria in milk and other stuff, and his name is Louis Pasteur.
Milk.
Yeah.
Pasteurization. And
Yeah, I know.
that's
Yeah.
when you get it hot enough to where it kills. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Just
Yep.
You may have seen it on your
That
milk.
one stings. Yeah. Thanks for clarifying, Neil.
All right. At the end of round 1, Kels was almost perfect with 40. He missed the bonus. Andy's got 22, and Davo has 20.
Anybody's game.
anybody's game.
Category 2.
If your name starts with a K.
Category 2. This isn't the question,
Okay.
but what do you think is the most famous building in Paris?
The Eiffel
The
Tower.
Louvre.
It is the Louvre.
The most.
That is category 2 is the Louvre.
The Louvre.
Since 1989, the main entrance to the Louvre has been through a glass pyramid, which was designed by which Chinese-American architect?
Locked in.
What?
Is this a?
I said.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm guessing.
No, I was talking, Neil, I was talking to Kels because
Oh.
I am incredulous he got it that quickly.
I'm guessing, dude. I'm probably wrong. So.
Right. Because I had a thought about this.
I'm locked in.
I am going to punt. But I have a
Ray?
thought.
God.
Well, why don't you just answer your thought then, and then you don't have to punt?
Yeah.
Hang time.
Hey, because I don't know a proper name, and it would be considered a wrong answer.
I think it's pronounced Freddy. I have no idea what you think about, but
Andy, what's your answer?
I believe the pyramid was designed by King Tut. Yeah.
Kels?
I guess I am pay.
Davo?
I punted, but my thought was, I was wondering if it was the same person who designed the Vietnam Memorial.
I don't know who did that, but the correct answer, the gentleman who designed the glass pyramid at the Louvre, is I am Pei.
Oh.
Wow,
Nice,
Kels.
Kels. Good job. And that was
Impressive.
well. That answers my question because the person who designed the Vietnam Memorial was female, so not the same.
There you go.
I'm trying to remember. There's been a movie I've seen recently, which I know nails it down, that pyramid plays a pivotal role in the film.
Yeah.
Probably the Tom Hanks movie, Dan Brown. whatever that was called.
If it's not going to show up again in this game, then I'll throw it out there.
No, it's not.
Okay, the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well,
yes, of course.
There was also the Tom Cruise movie, Live, Die, Repeat, where he lives the same
I've
day.
seen that.
That's not the actual name of the movie. It's blasted on the front of the cover. Like, I don't even think the name of the movie appears on the cover of like the Blu-ray DVD. And it's Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right. Question 2.
Good talk.
The most famous work in the Louvre is the Mona Lisa. What medium was the Mona Lisa painted on? Not what was it painted with, but what surface was it painted on?
Locked in.
This feels tricksy, Neil.
Does it?
Yes. I'm locked in.
Okay, Dava.
See, I think this is a tricksy answer. I think that you're gonna. I took the most obvious one and I locked in with it, but I want you to know I got my eyes on you, Sensei.
Okay.
I wrote down canvas.
Okay. Andy
I think it's a panel of wood.
and Kels.
I also went with canvas.
The correct answer is a poplar panel.
Boom.
Yeah,
A,
yeah, that was a tricksy.
a lot of the masters painted on wood. I think it was probably easier to get a hold of and higher quality than canvas, but don't quote me on that. I'm not an art historian at all. All right, question 3. In August of 1939, the Louvre was closed for 3 days, ostensibly for repairs. But what actually happened during those 3 days?
I'm locking in with an answer.
I'm locked in.
Okay, Kels?
I went with a piece of art was stolen, and they were trying to replicate it.
Andy?
I'm totally guessing because it seems a tad early for this, but they were possibly taking art out of the Louvre quietly ahead of Nazi Germany's invasion.
Andy? Arvin Davo?
I put down a stolen artwork.
Okay. Well, as Andy suggested, that was not too long before the Nazis invaded Paris, and they had a habit of taking a lot of the art and keeping it for themselves. So the Louvre shut down for 3 days for repairs and moved almost every piece of art out of the building.
Wow, I genuinely did not know that. I was just guessing from the date.
It seemed kind of early for me, but hey.
Question 4. In 2017, an extension of the Louvre was opened in what Middle Eastern city?
I'm locking in with a guess.
I'm locked in.
Piscadettle. I'm locked in.
Okay. Andy?
I'm just thinking in terms of a city that would be growing aggressively, where you'd be opening something in the Middle East, and Abu Dhabi is about the only thing I can come up with.
Devo?
I said Riyadh.
Ooh, that's a good guess.
I went with New Delhi.
Okay. The correct answer is Abu Dhabi.
Ooh,
That was my first guess. Dang it.
Andy.
Very nicely done, Andy.
Thank you.
The Louvre kicked me in the Louvres.
It really did.
What?
I mean, I'm looking.
Where exactly are the Louvres? I'm just curious.
Well, one's in Paris, and the other's in my pajama pants.
I'm looking at the scores here, Davo, and I see a whole bunch of zeros all in a row.
Yeah, that was awful.
I didn't do much better.
And what I'm seeing, well, that's true. You didn't.
Thanks for the confirmation.
At the end of round 2, we've got Andy with 52, Kels with 50, and Davo with 20.
Yeah.
I need to pause the game right here. This is, I think, I don't know, I think my 7th game overall with you guys, 3 or 4 since I became a regular and a couple as a special guest. I've never actually been leading after a round. So
Feels good, don't
this
it?
is kind of it does. This is kind of a special moment.
Drink it in, man.
You can't see me, Kels, but I'm doing the Sammy Sosa point to the sky, hitting my heart here.
Well, Andy, you may be...
All right, the moment's passed.
Okay, good. The next category you may be pleased to learn is music. I don't know how much you know about French music, but...
My wife actually is a fan of a couple artists in French music. I like the Beatles' Michelle, and that's about it.
Question 1 in music. This French electronic duo was formed in 1993, but didn't have their first Billboard #1 until 2016, which was a collaboration with The Weeknd. Or Weeknd.
It's The Weeknd. I'm locked in. I'm locked in.
I'm locked in as well.
Oh. I can see them with their big head things.
I kind of picture The Weeknd getting, like, saying, hey, I want to be called The Weeknd, and he goes and gets a tattoo, and the tattoo artist screws it up and leaves off an E, and then he pretends like he meant to do it, and that's why he's called what he's called.
I'm locked in.
I'm going to lock in.
I'm locked in.
Okay, Davo, what's your answer?
Daft Punk.
Else?
Daft Punk.
And Andy?
Daft Punk.
Correct answer is Daft Punk.
How am I supposed to catch up to you guys if you get it right too?
Sounds like a personal problem, man.
It is.
Kinda
Quite
Kinda
personal.
Question 2 in music. This pop punk queen was born and raised in Canada, but has dual citizenship in France because her father's French.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in with a total guess.
Kels?
I'm hoping it's Avril Lavigne.
Davo?
Avril Lavigne.
And Andy?
So it's probably not Blondie.
Was that your
That's
answer?
my answer. A little embarrassed by
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so ridiculous that the sensei didn't even recognize it as an answer.
Well, it was a question, or no, he said it wasn't someone. I didn't know if
Yeah,
that
to be fair.
was his
Yeah.
answer or not.
No, I locked in with Blondie.
Yeah, no,
Total.
she wasn't pop punk. She was just kind of punk and other stuff.
Yeah.
But Avril Lavigne is sometimes referred to as a pop punk queen.
I would not call
That's
it punk,
niche.
but my
As a fan of punk, I'm kind of offended by that.
Yeah.
But you know,
not the punk I grew up with.
other people say Blink 182 is punk too. So I'll just leave that there too.
Neil, you and I are in total agreement here.
Good. All right. Let's change gears a little bit. This French composer, sometimes called the first impressionist composer, although he hated that term, is one of the most influential composers of the 19th and 20th centuries. Among his most famous pieces are La Mer and Clair de Lune.
Locked in.
I got nothing.
Hey, Andy, I got this on vinyl.
I've got Blondie on vinyl. You know what? Stick with what works. It'll be right eventually. I'm locked in.
I am locked in.
All right. Andy?
I believe it's the pop punk queen Blondie.
Okay. Kels?
Debussy.
And Davo?
I believe it's the pop punk queen Pasteur.
Did Kel say Debussy, like the actor?
No, that's
It's Claude.
Busey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was his first name Claude. I was going to say that, but I didn't want to get fancy.
Yeah. His first name was Claude. His last name was Debussy. Debussy?
I never heard it said, so I'm not sure what the pronunciation is.
It's that French guy, Claude Debussy.
I've discovered this thing that if I type into Google Debussy and pronounce, someone has created YouTube videos of how to pronounce everything. I used that 2 or 3 times to get my French pronunciation correct, and it's just someone saying Claude Debussy.
That's pretty awesome.
Claude Debussy. It's really kind of weird.
It sounds like nerdy ASMR.
Kind of, yeah. Each video is like 10 seconds though.
Oh, just string a bunch of those bad boys together. You'll be sleeping in no time.
All right, question 4 in music. Rick Defay is a French guitarist who played for several years in the early 80s in this rock band, which was struggling with substance abuse and personnel changes. He is credited with holding the band together long enough for the lead singer and original guitar player to reunite and go on to win 4 Grammys, 6 AMAs, and 10 VMAs, among others. This might be obscure.
Rick Defay.
I
think I know.
Could give a hint or two, maybe, but I won't if Andy thinks he knows it.
Rick Defay.
I had a friend that was a fan. At the same time, this is when I was listening to 97X WXLP Moline, and this band was on there all the bloody time.
Can I have the question one more time, please?
Rick Defay is a French guitarist who played for several years in the early 80s in this rock band, which was struggling with substance abuse and personnel changes. He's credited with holding the band together long enough for the lead singer and original guitar player to reunite and go on to win 4 Grammys, 6 AMAs, and 10 VMAs, among others. Among other things.
And I would bet the clue Neil wants to give you would solve this for you.
I'm going to lock in, and I have a parenthetical to make me feel better.
Okay. Is that everybody?
Yeah, I'm locked in too.
Okay. Davo.
I don't feel good about this, but I think it's the Police.
Okay. Kels?
I went with the only French sounding name and came up with Depeche Mode.
Okay. And Andy?
Would it have helped you guys, if this is the right band, that the other thing that happened to make them popular again was they hooked up with Run DMC and re-recorded one of their songs? It's Aerosmith.
You've got to be
Walk
kidding
This
me.
Way.
Nope.
It's Aerosmith.
Right.
Wow.
So here's one of the clues I was thinking about giving. The The album where they got back together was called Back in the Saddle. Would that have helped?
Bless Bez.
Back
Not
in the
me.
saddle again. We're back.
Yeah. Yeah, so
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, God bless.
So the correct answer is Aerosmith. They started as a band, I think, in 1970 and had several kind of popular albums. And
Dream on.
Steven Tyler had pretty bad substance abuse. I mean, he was falling down in concerts and not able to get back up. And Joe Perry, after probably a lot of fighting, ended up quitting the band, although there's debate whether he quit or was fired. And so they got Rick Dufay to come in, and he basically nursed Steven Tyler for several years until Joe Perry and the other guy, who I forget his name, decided to come back, and they went on to very, very successful career after that. We had another lead change. I've got Kels with 80, and Andy with 72, and Davo plugging along with 40.
Yeah. You guys watch out.
Cinderella story.
Yeah.
Coming out of
Cinderella
nowhere.
story.
So, Davo, I was going to tease you by saying that Kels has doubled your score, except that in the first round, he doubled your score. And in the second round, both Kels and Andy had more than doubled your score. So, I guess I can't really tease you about
Oh.
you being doubled right now.
Nope. I've been kicked since category 1. I'm low down.
How are your lose doing?
Oh.
Okay. I think a couple of you are gonna have high hopes for this next category because it is history.
Yay.
Well,
Because
guess the couple.
Is it American
All right.
history?
Well, no. It's
No.
kind of French history. I mean,
Oh.
all right,
Oh.
question 1 in history. Before France was called France, what was the area called? It contained current-day France, Luxembourg, Belgium, and parts of Switzerland, Italy, the Netherlands, and Germany.
Excuse me.
Oh. I think I know.
I'm locked in.
Paying attention.
No, I think sometimes there's little dropouts, Neil. The other day we did that. You had that animal category with the question about the lions.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until you said the right answer at the end that I realized you were talking about sea lions. Like, I didn't hear the phrase sea every time you said lions. I thought you were talking about actual lions.
I don't even remember having a question about sea lions. Anyway,
I think Andy hallucinated during one game.
No,
you
listen to the
sniffing
show,
good?
because I actually went back and re-listened to it. He says sea lions in prides.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
Okay.
locked in though.
Well,
no,
think it stops
I think
in
that was multiple. I think it was multiple choice, and it was sea
Oh,
lion.
sea lions. Oh,
and that is going in the show.
I was racking my brains trying to think of a question I did about sea lions.
Oh,
Like, dude, I don't remember being on the show.
sea lions are in prides. That's so good.
I thought I was confused. I was glad I got it right, but then okay, we can fix that in post, can't we, Davo?
Oh, of course we can.
Absolutely. Sure. But we won't.
It's possible.
Okay, Kels,
Let's keep right on.
Kels? Give me your answer.
I guess Gaul.
Andy
Gaul.
and Davo.
Gaul.
Correct answer is Gaul. So, do you know why? This isn't a question, but do you know why it's called France?
I don't know.
It's because the people that lived there were Franks.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Which brings us to question 2. Charlemagne became the king of the Franks in 768. In 800, Pope Leo III gave him what title?
Locked in.
I'm locked in.
I feel like maybe once before I knew this answer, but that was a long time ago. So I'm gonna do this one for the culture. I'm locked in.
Andy?
Holy Roman Emperor.
Eva?
Holy Roman Emperor.
And Kels?
The God.
I see what you did there. Nice.
That's good.
That's nice.
In 800, Pope Leo III titled or crowned Charlemagne the Holy Roman Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
Or it means Charlemagne the God is like over 1,000 years old. Interesting. Yeah.
Looks great.
It really does. He looks good for his age.
Mm-hmm.
Still performing.
Question 3. Whose nickname was the Sun King?
Locked in.
I'm locked in.
Locked in.
Deva?
Louis the 14th.
Kels?
Louis the 14th.
Andy?
King Louis the 14th.
It was Louis the 14th. Okay. This is probably an easy one.
He's also the one that said, "I am the state," right?
I don't know. You may
That's
have.
his famous quote.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think that's him.
Question 4. Who was elected to the office of first consul in 1799 by an official vote of 3,011,007 to 1,562?
In what year?
1799.
I'm locked in.
I'm locked in with the only person I can think of from that century.
Kels,
Okay. I'm locked in.
okay, Kels.
One with Napoleon Bonaparte.
Eva
Oh.
Napoleon Bonaparte.
and Andy.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense than Lafayette. I just drew a total blank there. Okay. Lafayette would have been cool,
Marquis.
That's kind of the opposite of what Lafayette was all about, man.
though. Really was. Really. Should have put down Blondie. Blondie was my first guess.
Blondie's a good guess. Or Depeche Mode.
Yeah.
So the deal was he basically wrote a constitution, a very, very short constitution, which is called the Constitution of the Year 8, because it was the 8th year after the revolution. And he had 3 consuls, 2 of whom were basically advisors, and the first consul was essentially a dictator. They put it to a vote. His brother Lucien was the minister of the interior who counted the vote, and that's probably why there were over 3 million to 1,500 in favor. Probably only about 1.5 million people actually voted, but the person who was elected first consul was Napoleon Bonaparte.
Ooh.
He was kind of a rascal.
What a rascal. What a rascally emperor.
What a scamp.
All right, at the end of round 4, we've got 110 for Kels, 102 for Andy, and 80 for Davo.
Hard charging, guys. Hard charging.
All right. Category 5 is sports. Question 1. Anthony Dablé is a French athlete who has played American football in the French League and was signed and released by the Giants in 2016, by the Falcons in 2017, and now plays in the German American Football League. He got interested in American football when he played this acclaimed video game on his Nintendo 64 when he was 17 years old.
Locked in.
Acclaim?
Acclaim.
Okay. I am locked in.
Also locked in.
Okay. Andy, what was your answer?
Madden football?
Davo?
Tecmo Bowl?
What?
What?
Tecmo Bowl.
Okay. Kels?
I was torn between Madden 64 and my answer, which I put NFL Blitz.
Ooh, I forgot about NFL Blitz.
Me too.
Well, the correct answer was the NFL Quarterback Club.
Oh,
What? I've never heard of that game.
I played it. I mean,
It's not good.
I preferred other games. It was, I mean, Brett Favre was on the cover.
Well, of course, but I mean, what are they like? All hanging out in a lounge, ordering drinks for each other and swapping stories? Is that the game, or?
Well, I actually have a bit of a trivia nugget about this.
Okay.
Oh,
The NFL Quarterbacks Club was specifically a group of quarterbacks that created their own little group, the subdivision that marketed their own stuff. It was separate from the NFL Players Union and separate from your standard team stuff. It was like Dan Marino and John Elway and Brett Favre and Troy Aikman. And it was just a group of quarterbacks who got together and said, hey, let's make some money on our likenesses and our stuff. So it was this little clump of players that made their own like merchandising deals in various and sundry places.
Huh.
Yeah.
I thought the most interesting part of this question is that there is both a German and a French American Football League.
I like that there is.
And the French,
I like that there is.
The French League has been around for 2 or 3 decades now. I think it started in the 80s, if I remember right. And there's 8 teams, and it's kind of interesting. All right. So nobody got any points on that one. That was the first time I stumped all of you this game.
first.
Question 2. The Tour de France has been an annual event since 1903, except when it was canceled during the 2 world wars. How many stages does the race consist of? And I'll give you within 2 for this.
Oh, Colby.
The number of stages, not the number of days, because they're not the same thing.
Yeah.
I think I'm locked in.
I'm locked in as well.
I'm locked in.
Okay, Andy.
I think there's 20 stages.
Eva.
I locked in with 21.
And Kels.
Oh, is this like Price is Right, where you just trump me?
No, I just wanted
Okay.
to make sure I had high teens and low 20s covered.
If Kel's comes in with 21.1, I'm going to be mad. Just saying.
I went with 22.
22.
22.
20, are you saying 20 also, or number 22?
No, 22.
Okay. The correct answer is 21. You are all with 2, so you all get points.
Whew.
And I didn't realize that it's not a set course. There's like the last stage for the last 50 years is always around the Arc de Triomphe, I think. But there's times when they've had stages that go into other countries, and including the UK at least once. And so I guess, they must have to get on a plane or a boat or something and go.
They're riding through the channel.
All right, question 3 in sports. How many Olympic Games, winter or summer, has France hosted?
Ooh, do we get a range on that one?
No.
Dang.
Within 20.
Within
20?
No, not within 20.
For sake. I gotta throw my ass out the window. Says summer. Well, just okay. Never mind.
I'm locked in. Yeah, shoot.
Well, I can't lock in with Blondie. Or
Yeah, I'm
can
locked
I?
in.
No, I'm locked in.
Devo?
I locked in with 2, and then I remembered that it was more than that. But I locked in with 2.
Okay. Andy?
I locked in with 14 because of King Louis XIV.
All right. And Kels?
I guessed 8.
Okay.
Because Kobe Bryant used to wear 8.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
Kels and Davo were equally wrong. The correct answer is 5.
What were the 5?
There were,
because I remember 2 in Paris and Albertville.
there were the
Show me.
1900 summer, the 1924 winter, and the 1924 summer. The 68 winter and the 92 winter.
Okay.
And they're actually
All right.
they're actually scheduled
good
to
job.
have, I think, the 2024, would that be winter or summer? Whatever they're going to do in 2024. So for you trivia fans, in 5 more years, the answer will be 6.
Let me write that down. Might need that someday.
All right, question 4. This French basketball player has played 17 years with the San Antonio Spurs and plays for the French national team, representing France in 8 Eurobasket tournaments and the 2012 Olympics.
Locked in.
Locked in.
I don't watch basketball that much. I'm drawing a blank. I'm locked in.
I think he's also got, 3 or 4 NBA championships too?
He has 4.
Okay, Devo, what's your answer?
Tony Parker.
And Kels?
Tony
And
Parker.
Andy.
I went with the pop punk queen Blondie, who also has a great jump shot. People don't know that.
Well, if you were right, she would also, here's a trivia nugget, would also be a chevalier in the French Legion of Honor. Except it's not her, it's Tony Parker, who is a chevalier in the French Legion of Honor.
I'd put Blondie in the League of Honor. Just saying.
I'd put her in the Legion of Doom.
Meanwhile, in the Hall of Justice, our heroes attempt to make a sandwich. No bread.
All right, at the end of round 5. All right, at the end of round 5, Kels has 130, Andy 112, and Davo 100 points. It's anybody's game. The last category is movies.
Hey.
Let me just give my points to Kels. I can just sign off now, really. You guys, next show. Let me know how badly Davo lost to Kels.
Hey.
It's movies.
still
Kels
anybody's
is winning, and we're going into movies.
Y'all know movies too.
We're
I'm the
smart.
baby. You can handle things.
All right, question 1.
I'm off to a good start.
Question 1. Maurice Chevalier sang the slightly creepy Thank Heaven for Little Girls in what 9-time Oscar-winning movie from 1959? See, this is before Kel's Oscar knowledge.
I think I know this.
9-time Oscar winner.
Yeah, the movie won 9 Oscars.
Pretty sure I know this now that you said the Oscar count.
That was a record at the time, but it was beaten the next year. I don't know how many it was nominated for.
I'm locked in.
Yeah, I'm locked in. Sure.
Start with Andy.
Gigi.
Deva?
An American in Paris.
And Kels.
The 400 Blows.
What?
What?
The what?
The 400 Blows.
Was that a movie?
Is that a porno?
Yes to Neil, no to Andy.
Oddly enough, the correct answer is Gigi. And I say oddly enough because Andy got it right and Kels and Dave missed it.
I am astonished that. Okay.
It won, just for the record, it won Best Picture, Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Art Direction, Best Cinematography, Best Costume, Best Film Editing, Best Musical Score, and Best Original Song for Gigi.
No acting awards, huh?
No.
That's kind of unusual for a Best Picture to not have acting awards, too.
I mean, Return of the King.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not common.
Oh, yeah. It's super rare.
Question 2 in movies. French actor Gaspard Ulliel, I don't know how to pronounce it, Ulliel, played what Lithuanian serial killer in the 5th film of the franchise released in 2007? I'm looking for the name of the serial killer in the film.
Okay. Serial killer. Gaspard Ulliel.
Was Chucky Lithuanian?
Clearly, he was from Hong
he's probably
Kong.
from China.
Hello.
You're right.
Lithuanian serial killer.
I'm locked in.
The name of the film.
The company I work for does safety tests for toys, and I would have loved to see the report for the Chucky doll. Usually, it's like, there's too many phthalates that are leaking out of the plastic, and or the eye falls out, which could cause a choking hazard. But the doll tends to stab people in the face with a knife would be an interesting change.
We'd want to underscore that particular flaw.
Other than that, it's good to go.
I'm locked in.
All right, Kels.
I went with Dr. Hannibal Lecter.
What?
Hannibal Lecter.
And David.
What?
David.
Hellraiser. Lithuanian? Hey,
He has the accent.
It's been like, when was the last Hellraiser movie you saw come out?
One came out last year.
It was like
Really?
the second one.
Yes.
They're still doing Hellraiser.
Yeah. They're still doing it.
Hasn't he risen by now? I mean, he's raised. He is so raised by now. He's up there.
Anyway, the correct answer was Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter was not Lithuanian.
Yes, he was.
Listen to the accent, for starters.
What?
So you left the farm.
He has a hint of an accent.
Well, that question thoroughly flummoxed me. Good job, guys, but that really flummoxed me.
It did. At first, I thought he was talking about GG2, The Secret of the Ooze, and then I remember it's Hannibal Lecter.
And then the 5th installment, so GG2, unless they got a whole bunch of fractions in the middle.
GG5, A New Beginning.
Well, the really good one was the GG crossover with Hellraiser. That one was.
It was.
The movie was Hannibal Rising, which was the prequel to the Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal and Red Dragon, and what was the other one? Is it just Hannibal?
Hannibal. Hold up. So it's Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, Red Dragon, Hannibal Rising. So what was the fifth one?
Manhunter.
Man,
That was from 86.
You know, I just looked up this movie because I was like, you got to be kidding me. It got a 15% on Rotten Tomatoes. No wonder I have
I
never
never
heard
said it
of
was a
this.
good movie. I was just trying to find some French actors in
Yeah.
recent movies.
Well, you certainly did.
All right. Question 3 in movies. Brigitte Bardot is a French actress, singer, and animal rights activist and sex symbol. She acted in many French films and did at least one Western named Shalako, in which she co-starred with what actor from the UK? Just for the record, this was not a good movie.
British actor in an American Western. Right?
Say that again, Andy?
You're asking about a British actor in an American Western.
Yes, an actor from the
Was that
UK in American Western.
I'm locked in.
An American Western with a British actor. I feel like I should know this. I'm just drawing a total blank. British.
I'm gonna guess something. I'm locked in.
I'm locked in with a total guess.
Okay,
Actually, it's United Kingdom.
Kels?
Yeah.
Well, given the era, the only prominent British actor I could think of was, well, not British, but from the UK was Sean Connery. So
Andy?
I guess Sean Connery.
That's exactly what I did, Kels. I suddenly stopped myself there as I was talking out loud. So actually, the United Kingdom, if you expand that out, I went with Sean Connery as
Davo.
well.
Went with Sean Connery.
You know, I thought I got you guys because I very specifically didn't say British because he's from Scotland and it is Sean Connery. So when Andy,
And that
I know because I said what
actor?
actor from the UK, and then you said what British actor. I'm like, well, that's not exactly what I said.
Yeah. And then the very last thing I said is out loud or the United Kingdom and realized if I expanded that out, I got Sean Connery.
All right, that was a adaptation of a Louis L'Amour book, who was not French, by the way.
Louis L'Amour.
Yeah.
I have never heard of that movie.
Neither have I.
Okay, the last question in movies and in the regular round is the following. Question 4. Question 4. This French actor was living out of a car when he got hired as Knick-Knack in The Man with the Golden Gun.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I don't know his name.
I don't either.
I know exactly who he is. Oh, this ain't right. This ain't right.
Locked in.
I'm locked in with a joke in.
Locked in.
Okay, Davo.
Hervé Villachez.
Kels.
Danielle Bardot.
And Andy.
Gerard Depardieu. Wouldn't that have been awesome? Come on, think about it.
Yeah, he would have been a very interesting knick-knack. Yeah.
The correct answer is Hervé Villachez, who also played Tattoo on the Fantasy Island.
On Fantasy
Fantasy Island.
Yeah, I never knew his name.
So he
Yeah,
was
I
a
didn't know
really
his name either.
he was a really interesting guy. He was an excellent painter. He was the youngest painter to be displayed in the French National Art Museum, I think, or the Paris Museum, not the Louvre, but the Paris Museum. When he was 16, he had art hanging in there. He also sometimes played Oscar the Grouch. If you recall, every once in a while they would have Oscar walking, and basically they would have a trash can costume with legs sticking out of it, like green legs. And sometimes that was tattoo.
Huh. Did not know that.
He was fired from
That's crazy.
Fantasy Island for demanding the same salary as Ricardo Montalban. And he also, it probably didn't help that he regularly propositioned women on the set also.
Probably.
And then
No.
I guess he had some chronic health problems. I don't know if it was related to his dwarfism or not, but he committed suicide in 1992. I think it was 92.
Huh.
There is an interesting biopic about Hervé Villechaize where Peter Dinklage plays Hervé Villechaize.
That is correct. It's on the Netflix, I believe. All right. At the end of our regular categories, we've got Kels with 150, Andy with 142, and Davo with 120.
I'm hanging around.
Come back.
Told you, man.
He's the comeback kid.
So I don't know if you noticed, but I haven't had any geography questions lately. So I have here in my hot little hands a list of the top 20 most populous cities in France as of 2013. It probably hasn't, the order probably hasn't changed that much since then. And I just need you to name me any 10 of those 20 for 10 points each. And I'll give you a couple of minutes to do it.
Oh, duh.
Trivia nugget. France has more time zones than any other country in the world. Yep.
Really?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Because of the colonies?
Territories is what they call it.
Ah. Yeah. They're colonies. Let's be clear.
Okay. Pencils down. Let's start at the back. Davo, what do you have?
I'm not real happy, but I've got something. I've got Paris, of course. I've got Calais. I've got Toulouse. I've got Nice. I've got I've got Albertville, which had the Olympics. I'm almost positive that's a village, so that's the only reason I thought of it. I have Bordeaux, which I think is a region and not a city, but you never know. I have Champagne, which is I think a region, not a city.
It's a region.
I have Verdun, and I have Cannes for the film festival.
Okay.
And that's what I got.
Andy, what do you have?
Paris. I think everybody's going to start with Paris. Lyon. Nice.
Oh, right on. Good.
Strasbourg. Dijon. Rouen.
What was that last?
Cannes.
Hang on, slow down.
Brest.
No, before
Cannes.
that.
Cannes.
Before that.
I think.
Before that.
And after that?
After Dijon.
Before, I'm sorry. Rouen?
Can you spell it? I don't know what you're saying.
Rouen. Ruin.
Rouen. I
Okay.
think that's what I wrote it down as.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after that,
Ruin.
After Rouen, I have Cannes, Brest, and Marseille.
okay. Kels.
And I tapped out.
All right, to change it up a bit, I have Tours, have Cannes, Bordeaux, Toulouse,
Ooh.
Normandy, Dijon, Orléans, Nice, Lyon,
Okay.
and Paris.
Give me a minute here. So, Davo, I've got you correct with Paris, Toulouse, Nice, and Bordeaux. Calais, Albertville, Champagne, Verdun, and Cannes is not correct.
So I got 4.
Andy? Yeah, I got 4 for you.
Okay.
Andy, you were correct with Paris, Lyon, Nice, Strasbourg, Dijon, and Marseille. And in fact,
Okay.
you all of the 6 that you got correct were in the top 10. Paris obviously is the biggest, and then Marseille and Lyon, and then Toulouse and Nice. Nobody got Nantes, Nantes, Nantes,
Nantes.
Strasbourg, Montpellier, and Bordeaux was number 10. So anyway, I got 60 for Andy. Kels, you missed Tours and Cannes, Normandy, and Orléans, but you got Bordeaux, Toulouse, Dijon, Nice, Lyon, and Paris for 6. Which brings our final totals to Davo with 160, Andy with
Wow.
202, and Kels 210.
Oh, that one stings a little
Skin of the teeth.
So
Skin of
close.
the teeth.
So close.
It was anybody's game except for Davo's.
Hey.
Wow. Oh.
Sorry,
Great game,
Davo.
guys.
That's okay.
Great game.
Well, congratulations on your blue belt, Kels.
Thank you.
Well
Thank you,
done,
sir.
Kels. Well earned.
Much appreciated.
So,
What are the overall standings?
the overall standings, we have blue belt Kels, orange belt Davo, and yellow belt Andy.
And so that's 3. To translate that into numbers that normal people would understand, that's 3 wins for Kels, 2 for Davo, and 1 for Andy.
That's 4 wins for Kels.
Yeah.
4 for Kels.
4 to
Nice.
2
Yellow,
to
orange,
1.
green.
Wow.
Damn. Kels is opening up a bit of a lead, but I feel confident that next week I won't have to answer any more questions about the Louvre.
Well,
You know how I love the French after 4 semesters of French.
Yeah, you're a Francophile at heart.
Yeah, apparently.
Hey, all you cats and kittens. Like what you hear? Listen to the show on your favorite podcast app. You can also tweet at us, if that's your groove, at Ladle Brain. We're also on Facebook at Brain Ladle Productions. And you can look us up on YouTube. And if you're feeling it, we have a website, brainladletrivia.com. And if you got a little money and you think we're funny, why don't you kick us some, honey, at our Patreon. Peace, love, and soul.
So, from everybody here at the Brain Ladle Trivia Podcast, this is Davo with Blue Belt Kels.
Au revoir, mes amis.
Yellow Belt Andy,
Au revoir, little brainers.
and Sensei Neil.
ooh la la.
Signing off.
The preceding podcast was presented by Brain Ladle Productions. All rights reserved.